So, what we're going to talk about today, it is how can you be a good trans ally? How can you be like one of the best? You know, if you want to get like a medal or something, a medal for the best trans ally in the world, like this video will help you. So first of all, I just want to say I always use the word trans as an umbrella for different identities, for different people who just don't identify or fully identify with the gender they were assigned at birth. So people that can be trans, there can be non-binary people, can be trans men, trans women, can be travestites, can be cross-dressers, can be a lot of different groups. So I'm just like talking in general, trans is like so broad. And so what can you do to be a really good ally? Firstly, when someone comes out to you as trans, let them talk, let them tell you everything they want to tell you, and after that, if there's things that you are not really sure how to go about, then you can of course ask them. You can talk about which pronouns they use, maybe are they going by a different name now, would they like you to correct their pronouns. This can really depend on the situation, because most of the time people who are trans, they really appreciate it when you correct their pronouns, whether you're in their presence and they're just like a bit uncomfortable correcting their own pronouns, or whether they're not around and you hear someone else misgendering them, they would really appreciate it if you like correct this. But if the person is like out to you and maybe they're not out to their other friends and or family, then it could be the case that they don't want you to correct their pronouns, because like certain people just don't know about it, and otherwise you would be outing them, so that's not great, of course. But yeah, like have a conversation. It's the best thing you can do. Have a conversation about it with the person that you know is trans now. Well, they've always been trans, but like, you know, that you know to be trans from now on. And just start practicing pronouns. Start seeing this person as they know themselves to be. In the coming out conversation, you could also ask in the end, like, is there some things that they would like to do in the future to feel more comfortable in their gender identity and or expression. Maybe they would like to go on a shopping spree, you know, because sometimes we are not able to be ourselves before we really come out. So yeah, check in on that. Maybe they would like to go on a shopping spree. Maybe not. Maybe they already feel comfortable in what they look like, and that's okay too. But just have a conversation about it. Of course, for trans people, gender-inclusive toilets is really a big deal for us. That's why when there's only two options, there's like a male and a female gendered toilet, it can be really saddening and like it can feel unsafe for us to like have to pick one. So if you're like a trans ally, this is something you can really help with. So if you see somewhere that there's only two gendered toilets, male and female, you could like have a conversation with the person of the pub and just let them know, like, hey, do you know about trans, non-binary people and so on. You could have a conversation and just let them know that for trans and non-binary and so on people, it is really important to have a safe place to go to the toilet, and they can see how they implement this information. Maybe they will just from now on like lose all the you know, the icons, or how do we say this in English? Like all the male and female drawings. So everyone can go in all the toilets, or maybe they will like choose for a third option where there's like one toilet that is aimed at people who don't feel comfortable in the male and the female one. So they can see how they implement it, but you can talk about it. You can, as an ally, really bring this conversation up. Also, you could go with your friend to the toilet that they feel the most safe in, because this can really help them like not feeling weirded out or unsafe. So you can tell your friend like, hey, I know this is where you want to go, but it can be scary, so I will go with you. Something that is like so easy to do, it's like so easy, but I don't think many people know about it, is that as a cisgender person, when you're a cisgender person, this just means that you are not transgender, so you are identifying with the gender you were assigned at birth. You can like just put your pronouns in your bio of your social media and in the signature of your emails, and this way you make the conversation about pronouns so much more easy than like when you don't do it, because if only trans people put these pronouns in their bio and in their signature of their email, it seems to be something other, something not normal really, because it's only this certain minority group that uses it. But when you as a cisgender person like also do this, it shows that it is important for everyone, and it is important for everyone, because even cisgender people, they can use like they them pronouns, or they can use pronouns that if you look at them you wouldn't think they would use these pronouns. So it's like something important for everyone. So that's a simple thing that you could like implement, just like put your pronouns in your social media bios and in your email signature. This way you really help us to not make people assume anyone's pronouns anymore. Sorry, I'm just going to like put this on me because I am just very cold. So another thing that you could do, and that really helps us, is when you hear someone saying something transphobic, you like tell them, and you tell them why it's transphobic and that they should not like do this again. Also, when you hear conversations where trans people are like not being included in the conversation because, like, for example, our society is just like very binary, and a lot of the time people will just talk about men and about women and leave out the non-binary people. If you see this happening, you could say, hey, and what about non-binary people in this conversation? Is it focused? I don't know, I don't see myself. There's also a problem with my contacts, so now the camera is not focusing and my eyes are like not focusing either. We're having the same problem, the camera and me. We should be friends. If you want to be like one of the best trans allies out there, then I would really recommend voting for a person who you know to be queer friendly. If you don't know a lot about politics, then you can just ask your queer trans friend and just ask them who they would recommend, who they think is really LGBT friendly. Of course, it has a really big impact if you vote for someone who is not LGBT friendly, because it has just a lot of consequences for our lives, I guess. If someone like Trump has the power, of course it will have consequences, and we have seen it happening. There's a lot of things going on in America. Trump decided like a year ago to just erase the existence of trans people. I don't know, I don't have any updates on that. I don't know if it worked out, but he tried to. A month ago there was something going on where they wanted to implement a law that discriminates against LGBT people. All these things have so much impact on our very real lives. So when you vote for someone who is against LGBT people, then you can be sure that it will have like very real negative consequences on the lives of trans and queer people. Just think about that when you vote for someone, I guess. If you're on a website and on the site you need to fill in some kind of form, and there's only two options, there's only man and woman, there's only when they want to send you like a letter, there's only madam and sir, then well, you will see that there's a problem here because there's not an option non-binary. You could just send an email to this organization that provided the form and let them know, hey, I saw that like this option wasn't there, and I think it would be greatly appreciated by non-binary people to have this option, because otherwise they don't know what to fill in. They're not being recognized in your form. And of course, this is not only on websites, it's also in real life that this happens. There can always be some kind of form that someone has to fill in on physical paper where this is also the case. So in that case, you can just talk with the person who provided this form and also explain this to them. It really is very important to us. When we have to fill in something, we have to choose between two options that are not right for us. So when someone has spoken up about it, whether it's a trans person or a cisgender person, it just makes it so much easier for us, because we feel very happy to be included in this form, and it shows that there's genuinely like organizations that care about this topic. Something that would really make any trans non-binary person happy, I think, is joining them when they go to Pride. You don't have to be queer yourself to go to Pride. This is something that I think a lot of cisgender and heterosexual people think is the case, that it would be weird to go to Pride when you're not one of them, when you're not someone who is part of the LGBT plus community. But actually, you're so welcome to join us. We need you. We are still a minority community, and we need anyone who just wants to help us to be around. So what is the best thing you can do? Just come to our celebration of our lives, I guess. And this is Pride. This is where we celebrate our existence. So if you come with us, you're like celebrating our existence with us, and we would really be happy about that. Also, you can join us to protests. Like sometimes a lot of the time, we need to be activists to like be seen. We need to talk about our existence, about our gender, about our very existence. We need to talk about it. We need to speak up about it. We need to protest against things that are being done in society that are not good for us. And if you join us, it's just like an extra person that is there for us to fight against inequality and to fight for laws that include us. So we would really be happy about this. At least I know I would be really happy about it. One more thing that could help a trans person is maybe you can propose to them, if they want to go to gender therapy, to go with them. Not every trans person needs gender therapy. Sometimes we're just good like it is, but there are some of us who do really need gender therapy to figure out our gender and to figure out if we need medical transition. And it can be a very scary step to take, to call to the gender clinic and just hear the other person on the other side of the line, really. So I remember when I first picked up the phone to just make an appointment with the gender clinic, I was so scared. I was scared I would have to explain my whole history with gender, and I would have to prove myself to be who I know I am. But this was not the case. However, I was really scared about it. So if you are someone who can just tell their friend hey, if you want to go to gender therapy, I will be there for you. And if you will go through some kind of medical transition, then I will be there for you. This can mean so much to this trans person. We don't always have all our friends and all our family on board with our gender, and definitely with our medical transition, if that's the case for us. So when a friend lets us know, when a family member lets us know that they will be there, whatever we choose to do to make ourselves feel more comfortable, then that means so much. If you want to get the medal for the best trans ally, you should just do all these things that I mentioned in this video, and maybe even more. And well, maybe I will send you a medal. Let me know if you've like done everything on the list. Yeah, that's about it. I wish you a very nice day, and I hope this video helped you to become a better trans ally.
Yeah.